Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Keiaradise. If you haven't already, please do subscribe, join the tribe, and follow me on Instagram. Location looks a little different, right? Okay, this is my room at my dad's house. I've said in my live streams that I've kind of moved to Sacramento a little bit, kinda. Yeah, so anyway. Oh, and okay, I'll give you a little cute tidbit too. So see this portrait of me right here? This was painted or drawn July 27th, 2011, and that was my very first trip to China. And I remember this was in Nanjing, somewhere in Nanjing. I don't know, whichever tourist area it was. I got my picture drawn. I'm sitting there getting my picture drawn, and like there is a crowd of people just watching. I'm telling you, at least well, I don't know if it's 100 people, but like at least 50 people just sat there and watched and took pictures and stuff like that. So yeah, that was cute. I don't think I was vlogging like that. No, I was actually. I did upload my first trip to China, but unfortunately it doesn't have that footage in the video. And y'all know what happened to my channel, so anyway, go check out that video if you haven't seen it. Well, I've had a lot of people ask me about how to learn Chinese. How. Not the Chinese how. But that is a very, 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 very tough question to answer. And the short answer is you gotta have a customized, personalized way of learning, okay? So I think that what this video, the purpose of it is to just give you some tips on how you can find your way of learning Chinese. Because what works for you might not work for me. What works for me might not work for you. But the glory of it is that there are just so many things out there, so many resources, so many techniques, and blah, 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 that you will be able to find the best thing that works for you. Because I'm still even trying to find like the best thing that works for me to study Chinese, you know, and not live in China. Basically, when you are learning a language, okay, you have to have four aspects that you have to learn, right? So, speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Now, two of them go in this, I don't know, are both passive learning, and two of them are both active learning. So the passive ones are your listening and reading. So you're basically learning stuff that someone else has produced, you know, like you are absorbing the information, you are receiving it, you know. And then the active one is the opposite. You are the producer of it, you know, you're speaking and then you're writing, you know, you're making up everything. So you have to focus on those four areas. How can I improve my speaking? How can I improve my listening? How can I improve my reading? How can I improve my writing? Do all those four different ways, and your Chinese will improve, or any language you're learning. So let's start with speaking. Obviously, the way to speak is to speak. And if you're not in China, which I mean, it doesn't really matter, you don't have to be in China, because believe it or not, Chinese people and Chinese culture is everywhere, okay? Everywhere. Like, there is not a corner of this planet where Chinese people haven't like migrated to and created like a community, you know? So yeah, do go to, I mean, not now because it's COVID, but after the pandemic, you know, you can go to a Chinatown. I'm sure your city or a city near you has a Chinatown or a Chinese museum or a Chinese restaurant. I've never been anywhere that didn't have Chinese food. Even in Cuba, there was a Chinatown. In Havana, when I went there, it was a Chinatown. I was like, wow. Oh yeah, but they both were like or were communist countries, so I'm sure at one point they were like allies. So yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. But yeah, so you can speak, you can find a friend. I mean, I say this, use Italki. I think there's other platforms as well, but I use Italki, and if you go on there and you find a tutor, you can, most of their rates are like $5 to $10 for an hour. Yeah, you know, like if you said to yourself, okay, I'm gonna invest $40 a month in my Chinese through Italki, you know, maybe you can up it, you can lower, because yeah, like I would say get a tutor on Italki and do as I did. You really have to kind of surf and try different people out, you know, because it's all about the vibe, you know. So find a teacher that you love, that loves you, and speak to them. Listening. So think about all the things you listen to. Like you listen to music, podcasts, movies, blue, all of these things that you do in your day-to-day life. Like you stream stuff, right? Why not take some of the things that you listen to and let's make it and add some Chinese to it. Like, okay, I love jazz music. Let me find some Chinese jazz. I don't know how I would do it. I would just, okay, why don't we just do it right now? Google, you know, what's the best Chinese jazz?
Here's information from open.spotify.com.
50 timeless tunes, Chinese jazz. Okay, so they've got, yeah, Spotify gave me a thing. So I would just go on there and, okay, let's see the first video. I don't want them to flag me for copyright, because they do that. But let's see. Okay, so listening, and then also watching movies and stuff like that. Okay, what are the best Chinese movies this year?
Here's a summary from China Film Insider. 2019 year in review. Top 10 blockbusters in Chinese
they didn't
cinema.
do Chinese 2020.
The Bravest, Pegasus, Crazy Alien, The Captain, My People, My Country, Avengers, Endgame, The Wandering Earth, Meza, and more.
Okay, so find things that you like. Let's just use myself as an example. A show that I watch religiously every day practically is Shark Tank. I can watch that show till I'm blue in the face. And I was like, oh, Eureka! Why don't I watch Shark Tank in Chinese? So I had to ask my tutor. I was like, because I've watched a show before in China, because the Chinese language school that I used to go to were on that show. And it was like a Chinese version of Shark Tank called, and it took me a long time to remember it, 梦想下一站. Or, 对 梦想下一站. The next step to your dream, something like that. And I Googled it, couldn't find it. And I was like, come on now, I'm not making that show up. Anyway, I asked my tutor, and he was like, oh, there's another show that exists called, I forgot what it was called. But anyway, so I was like, okay, let me watch it. Mind you, I struggled watching it because, like, it was a lot going on, and I just felt very confused. So, yeah, it's trial and error. You really gotta be trying to find stuff that you actually like. I don't, you know, and just doing it in Chinese, that helps. Okay, and then for your reading, number 3, reading, same thing. Find things that you actually like to read. And okay, and I know reading in Chinese is hard, but if you want your reading levels to improve, y'all gonna have to just bite the bullet and look up every character. I know it sucks. It's really like frustrating, you know, because I remember when I first started doing like my law school, like oh yeah, everything was in Chinese. And I would sit down and it would take me an hour, up to an hour, to read a page. Now it doesn't take me nearly as long, and I just know so many characters now because I would literally just be there and look it up and just write it in the margin of the book, or I would have a separate notebook and write all those words down, something like that. And then eventually, like, because it's like, oh man, I can't remember. I know I looked this up, but I can't remember. It takes time. You know what I mean? Eventually, like, if you look it up more and more times, it'll stick. It'll finally stick, I promise you. But you have to go through the labor of actually looking up everything. It takes a long time. I have like an old textbook here. I think I had this textbook when I was in Beijing, which is a long time ago. Or was it in Nanjing? I don't remember. But like, you can see a little bit of, maybe I'll just put my camera over it so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But I used to write, my handwriting was so ugly then. Ooh, my characters look so lame. They look terrible. I know some people might be like, oh my god, such nice, because people don't know like how Chinese is supposed to look. This all looks awful. The characters. But anyway, yeah, I used to have to look up everything and write everything down. Like, there's just no shortcut. No shortcut. I wish there was a pill we could take and then boop, we just know every Chinese character. Wouldn't that be the day? Yeah. So if you guys want this textbook, it's called, what is it? Oh, Road to Success. Okay. Anyway, I'll put it in the description, and they have different levels of it. Like this is the textbooks we had in Beijing or something, and then I have these two advanced ones. So it tells you how many characters you'll learn to be 高级汉语, 中级汉语, 初级汉语. So 初级 is like beginner, 0 characters, and you go up a level to 100, up a level to 600, up a level to 1200. Then you're considered 中级 or intermediate, and that's 2000, 3000 characters, and then you go to advanced, which is 4500 characters, and then 6000 characters. Oh, not characters, it's words, not characters. words. Okay, so I don't know if I necessarily recommend this book, but whatever. You know, a good thing to read, because I feel like the internet is so important, and understanding like internet slang in Chinese is very important. So I would just go on Weibo and like see people's tweets, and also go on Douyin. Can you download Douyin in America or outside of China? Y'all let me know. I don't think you can. You have to have like a Chinese app store to get Douyin. So Douyin, if you don't know, is Chinese version of Chinese TikTok, but Douyin. So yeah. If you know, you can see like how people talk. I think TikTok would be a perfect thing to use to really, or if you can't get Douyin, just go on TikTok and type in 中文, you know, 中文, and then see what pops up, and really like start to learn that type of stuff, because that's how people really talk. You know what I mean? This stuff to me, like I don't buy these things anymore for like these type of books. If you're someone who needs a book, I get like any book will be fine. You know, I would recommend one called Integrated Chinese. I'll put that in the description. But this is just the book that I have here at my dad's house. But I've had so many Chinese textbooks in the past, like from all the schools I've gone to and all that stuff. But I know that I don't like I don't like the material they have in that, because it's not how people speak day to day colloquial Chinese. It is textbook Chinese, and you don't want to be learning no textbook Chinese or textbook language, because you want to know how people actually talk. So go on TikTok, because I know all of us are on TikTok. Just why not do that in Chinese? Just go and put 中文, and you find a video of someone talking about, or put Chinese slang or something like that, and then you like it, and then the algorithm is just gonna the floodgates will be open. So yeah, okay. And then in terms of writing, number 4, the 4th thing, writing. You can write a little diary. Like, I think that's okay. And then you're like, okay, I want to say this. How do I say it? You're like, oh, let me go pleco it. Okay, I don't know about y'all or if I've mentioned this before, but the only thing I ever use as a Chinese dictionary is pleco. And I have used this for probably 9 years, 8 years. All my time in China, I had this. Pleco is so good. It is the only thing you'll ever need. Actually, I also use a dictionary called Youdao, and that's what most Chinese people use to translate. Like, it's kind of like Google Translate, but what I always liked about Youdao that sometimes what's it called, Pleco doesn't have, is if it's like a technical term, because like I was doing a lot of law stuff, so like a lot of legal concepts and stuff like that won't necessarily be in Pleco. They'll only have the words separated, but if you look it up on Youdao, it'll show you the translation, English equivalent or something like that. So yeah, I use the 2 of them, but Pleco mainly. I'll be like, if I'm writing something, I'm like, oh, today I went, I don't know, like today I went to the dentist to get Invisalign, to get a checkup for my Invisalign, like, 我今天去了牙医生, or is it 牙医生? It's like, why do you say a dentist again? Like, see, I don't even remember how to say dentist. Dentist. Isn't it 牙医? 对, 牙医. So today I went to, like, 今天去了牙医, 然后我想做不知道 Invisalign. So for instance, Invisalign, you're not going to be able to find that in Pleco. But if you go on Youdao, you'll probably find it, right? So Invisalign, right? I have no idea how to say it in Chinese. But I think this will have it. Okay, let's look up Invisalign. See, look, and then it gives you like an example sentence. Anyway, I hope this video helps you guys in your Chinese journey. Remember, it is a lifelong endeavor, okay? Learning Chinese. There's always room for improvement. There's always something new happening. Language is constantly growing, so you can never stop. Do a little every day. Be consistent. Be easy on yourself, like, don't give yourself so much pressure. Like, you're gonna learn Chinese, okay? You have a whole life ahead of you to be learning Chinese. And have confidence and believe in yourself and 加油! 加油! You can do it. You can learn Chinese. I learned Chinese. I mean, I think I mentioned this in one of my lives, but I will never forget this, that the first time I went to China in 2011, this trip here, I remember meeting this girl in the airport on our way to China, and she was reading a Chinese newspaper, and the girl was from, or the woman was from Mongolia. And I said to her, like, oh my God, you can read the newspaper? I'll never be able to do that. Like, oh yeah, newspapers are good too. Just so you know. I'll never be able to do that. And she's like, oh, it's possible. It's possible. So yeah, and here I am in retrospect, like, wow, she was right, it's possible. Like, I can read a newspaper. I am open to teaching Chinese. If anyone wants to learn Chinese from me, let me know in the comments below. I think I'm gonna set up a little bit of a program or some kind of like Zoom thing, Cash App, Venmo, I don't know. So let me know. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope it was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and, you know, put on that notification bell because I am going to be posting more. I know I say this all the time. I know I say it all the time, but I really am though. I'm serious this time, guys. I'm serious this time. So yeah, okay. Thank you. Love you guys. Bye.